here we are today to go through the assembly sequence for the 5EZ piece A-6 Intruder. And Intruder, originally I put a Grayson Hobby supersonic motor in with a 6x5 or 6x4 prop. Flew just fine. Tried it the other day with the Megajet with a 7-inch prop, which which will fit. I originally designed it with these pieces are not here for the 7-inch, but actually it still clears. There's still enough room there. I recommend you probably take them out. I tried it with the 7-inch prop and that. It flies okay. It's a little faster, climbs a little better, but really it does just fine on the supersonic. And you don't have nearly the weight, of course. But this is just a great little flyer. I have the hatch right here. You put the motor or put the battery up front there, and the just forward. I think works best just forward of the nacelles. The balance is right there. I can mark that on the plan for you. It has a version of the Trident tail, and where the tail sections come in and actually mount here at the nacelles, as well as they're notched into the upper part here. I found I needed a little extra reinforcement, and I did that with some number 3 rod down through there just to help kind of stiffen this up. Another thing you might do instead that I did on the F4 was, like, you could take the ventral pan piece and you could make or something something akin to that, make a piece that would go front. You'd have to really notch it around this. The only problem you're going to have by having something like that, if you do this would really reinforce it and stiffen the tail up, but because in this case of the angle that's involved, I would be concerned, and that's enough of a surface area there, that you're going to get, it's going to be like you're vectoring the thrust or deflecting the thrust down. You're going to get a lot of pitch, I'm afraid, from that. I mean, do it, you could try it, and just regulate it with your this is a fully moving elevator the way I've done it on this one. You could do it that way, I suppose. And that would, I can tell you, it's gonna, if you do that, make it out of this, like if you took this piece and laid it out, duplicated it down the center line, right, and then brought it back over here, or measured how far from here, from where you put your strut through to the edge here, and then notched it in, you could make a piece that did that, and that would make this make a triangular section, bring it to a point down here, and it would really strengthen the tail. But you're going to run the risk of making that downward deflection of the air, and so it's going to want to lift the tail all the time like that. So you're going to want to, have to balance against that. But let's get to enough of that. Let's get to the assembly of the plane. This is let's go through the parts. This is your main wing and the lower fuse, okay? This is the tail piece. As you can see, there's a slot for that. This slot goes like that. Hit this, the slot's right in there, and then this piece, bang, goes in there, and there's your thing. There's your fused half, the upper part. There's your ventral part, ventral fuse, which goes here. And then here's your fuse cap, which again, you start here and work forward with that. And this is the piece, got these two taped together here. This is your lower nacelle piece here. Let's flip this over. That's your side piece, the cap, and the lower piece, which forms all of this back through here. Okay. And there's your rudder. There's your elevator. Here's a little cutout for the canopy, so you can mark that on it correctly. And there's your KF airfoils. Now in this case, I've got it notched, marked. What's the longer one, of course, is on top, and the shorter one on the bottom. Now I typically do run a rod right behind the motor mount and out into the wing. This gives great rigidity. The only problem with this bird, and since it's not very long, because where it's located, is this outer piece can get broken, and that's what's happened on this one, and it's caused me some problems in flying it. I've got to do do something here to reinforce this because I'm getting some unwanted, because of the warping here, this twisting of this wing, I'm getting some problems in flight. So I got to get that fixed before I can fly it again. Get that so it pushes down into this level. With run a piece of carbon across the top there to on each side to bring that, to strengthen this wing. So I'm going to recommend you do that, like a number 3 rod. Just lay it behind the KF glue and maybe a piece of tape over for smoothness, and to help reinforce this, because beyond that, where that rod terminates there, this can get, you know, kind of soft. And what I did was I was landing and ran right into one of those soccer goals out there and cracked this wing, almost broke it off. So anyway, something you might want to consider. But going back to this, you know, on this tail section, this is like the rest of them. For instance, I've got the notch slot here, notches here. So when you put the tail boom together, this you can just feed it up in there like that, slide it back, and boom, you're there. That's your, and then you glue it like I did before. And then there'll be where you run your piece through here for your fully. If you want to do it like I did it, anyway, with a fully operational thing, you could just tape the edges to it and make it separate. You know, just run a wire or something through there so they move together. That's up to you how you want to build that. And then of course I put my elevator servo right there in the side of this, and ran one of these. This is left over from an almost ready to fly plane that crashed. Do it like that, makes your elevator work. And then the ailerons are just simple, you know, rods and horns, and they're just on either side of the nacelles. And I just run the wire across and in to the plane's body. And of course, oh, one other thing too, back to reinforcing, get ahead of myself here. You've got the one behind here. I ran a short one across here to help hold the tail, help hold all these nacelles with the main wing. Got this running back here, and of course that I've reinforced on either side on these big elevators so that they don't bend over on you. And then I run another one right across up here, and that just keeps the whole front end of the plane registry when you're building it, and keeps it together that way. So that's your reinforcing. I think I marked that on the pattern. I don't remember. Anyway, so that's your tail boom. As you can see, it goes onto the either wing side. Your ventral pan, pretty much goes the whole length, and you bevel this edge. You bevel both sides of this, and you put that together and bring it around. First, add glue in that. The side of the fuse here is made basically there's a notch right here, and that brings you right to where your motor mount is. See, the motor's pretty much exposed there, and that just sits down in this piece here, just like that on either side. Comes together, and this is your fuse cap, and told you how to do that. Where you butt it here, start it out on this end, some tape, and to make sure you want to make sure that these are equal, like on anything else, on each side, so they're not, one's not slightly ahead of the other, which would cause the whole thing to twist. Put all that together, make sure it's the same width here when you glue it all together, so that works. There's your bottom side here. Let me show you that again. This piece goes on. There's this wraparound piece that does the top. As you can see right here, that little piece comes up out of the wing, and there's a whole slot for that goes in. And then this piece is score folded. There's one on the back side, so it bends this way, and one on the top side. So, pardon me, it's also best to also be back side. So because it bends this way and that way. Pardon me, maybe I got on the wrong side here. Yeah, like that. Bends this gaps this way, and this one's from the back side. And then there are slots in the side for these to go, tabs to go, and that all goes together, and that gives you your lower nacelle look that you're looking for, like that. That slot's there, This would bend and come around. And my pattern doesn't have it. I think it did on the other one though. Anyway, if for some reason I missed them, you just put that together there and line it up. It works. And again, the whole object of this is to open up the bottom and let air flow to this prop, so that you're not starving your prop for air. And because you've got good airflow across the top, as you can see, across the top of the wing. But this gets it at the bottom too, so you're getting a good source of air, good power flow of air, and which results in good power from your motor and propeller. So that's basically it. It's a very simple model to do, and you'll love the way it flies. It just goes about that big wingspan like that. It's a glider. You can take it up and cut the power off and extend your flights, just gliding with this thing. But it'll very responsive. You can bring it down low to the ground. I do it often, bring it down low to the ground, take my hands off the sticks, and it'll just skim the grass or skim the top of the corn and out there in the fields as it goes along. A very stable design from Grumman. So anyway, that's it. That's the 5 easy piece Grumman A-6 Intruder. I hope you like it, and that's a wrap.
Mm.